Hey everyone, Steve Weintraub here at the Cinema Center at MARBL, which is the Collider studio. I want to give them a huge thank you for being an awesome sponsor, partner. It's a great place in Toronto. Just being honest. You guys are here, you can see it.
Yep.
You know. So I'm here with everyone behind Hell of a Summer, which is world premiering here at the Toronto International Film Festival. I really want to know, do you think it's because the three of you were stalking the festival last year? I witnessed the three of you going around to movies. You know, you saw at least a few. Do you think that's the I'm making a joke here, but
that is the reason. Though, yeah, we kept pestering them to let us in. And eventually,
we followed Cameron Bailey around, and we said, "Please, please, please." No, we went last year. It was so fun. Billy's been coming to the festival for years because he lives here and went to film school here, and it was just the best time. And then we met you, and you gave me your card. I still have it in my wallet.
That led to nothing.
Yeah, but it went to this. It went to this. It went to this. It went to right now.
Right now. You know what's funny?
It went to nothing.
I'm joking around. Yeah, you're right. Actually, I'm fucking stupid sometimes. No, you did say though that when it was time to promote, you would come in.
Yeah.
Yes, it is true. Yeah. I'll give you some credit. Yeah, it's true. All right, so listen, no one, I'll be serious for a second. No one watching this will have seen the movie yet, or maybe 5 people will have. So I hate asking you to do this, but like, how have you been describing the film to friends and family?
You're pretty good at this.
I did a good one last time, but I don't know if I can, okay. Hell of a Summer, it's a summer camp comedy slasher. It's an ensemble coming of age movie about camper, or a counselor I should say, who's a little bit older than everybody else, named Jason, and he's back and he kind of can't let his camp glory days go, and then a masked killer starts picking off the teenage counselors one by one, and everybody sort of freaks out and
tries to survive the night.
Tries to survive.
This is your guys' obviously first film. Talk a little bit about the genesis of this, because the other thing is, a lot of people really debate sometimes, like, what is going to be my first feature, you know, because like it sometimes can really matter, you know? So how much did you debate? Is this going to be the thing we do first?
I debated it forever. And I think had Vin and I not have made this film together, it would have just been such a, like, the fact that we got to make it together, it made it less of a debate for me.
Yeah.
And it just became the question of, as soon as somebody was willing to, there was that voice in the back of my head going like, are you ready? Should you do this? And I thought, what are you doing? Like, do it. Even if you're not ready, go do it. When you get to make a movie and you're young and you get to make a movie about people that are your age and you get to work with all these incredible people. So I would say that working with Finn and knowing that we're co-directing, and it feels like, from the beginning, it wasn't just like one of our films. It's our film. It's a film kind of about our friendship. And then as we opened up the, film to all these other people, it just became so much more than just something that belonged to us. So it made it a lot easier.
Yeah. And also, I mean, specifically too, what Billy was saying, about being, the movie being about younger people. I mean, it was, we're writing about friends and people that we knew. And so it felt natural for us to be writing about people our own age. So
for the two of you, what was it about the project besides them offering you $5 each to be in the movie?
Yeah, that $5 is very enticing.
Oh yeah. At Thai Diner.
Yeah.
The dinner.
Get a lot of. First, I mean, the simplest first thing is just one of the best scripts I've read, and so you read something like that, that has genre, but in service of characters, where it's like the people are what's creating and pushing the genre. That's very exciting, and then we met, and you just I think like I think it's pretty quick to know when something is going to be deeply special, and that the group of people are going to be a unique like ensemble of great artists, and that's what this was to me. So it was very easy to decide, because it was pretty instantaneously the thing that I think we all really wanted to do.
Yeah, I think when I first read it, I felt like it struck a good balance of like the horror and the genre, and then also it kind of, I don't know if you guys would describe it as a rom-com.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, totally.
It, like, some of the scenes felt really quiet and sweet, and like reminded me of some of my favorite rom-coms of the night. So I liked that it blended a lot of different genres and feelings and personalities, and then I loved meeting with them. And yeah, I feel like I knew instantly even before reading the script, but then yeah, it was amazing.
So this genre can have some blood and guts, and I don't know how much blood and guts is in the movie. So what do you would want to tease?
For blood and guts, I will say it's sort of, it's closer to like a Scream sort of type violence rather than like a Green Room, type violence. It's like there's a really, it was a huge conversation we both had. I mean, of like, okay, when is gore fun and can be great for the audience, and when can it be like upsetting and also great for the audience in a different way, like in a sort of make you feel very uncomfortable and disturbed, and
but because the film kind of, as Abby was saying, is like a young rom-com at its core. We never wanted to go too far
dark.
That you couldn't come back to see the light in it. So we had an incredible team of people, and we have some like incredibly awesome practical gore.
Yeah.
But also it was always something we always wanted to keep it fun for everyone.
So, for example, like a Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte, there's that part where
it gets torn apart.
Torn in half.
Yeah.
We don't go that far, but yeah, I mean, there's there's some gnarly like tubes, blood tubes and stuff like that in the film. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, did you guys as a group or individually watch any films or ask the cast to watch any films to sort of get ready before you stepped on set to like inhabit the tone that you were looking for?
Yeah, we sent, I'm pretty sure, in the group chat a few films for people to watch, right? But I think
I don't know if anybody watched those.
Yeah, but I think it was more of like a rewatch type situation, because I think a lot of people had seen a lot of the films.
Yeah, I think what we kind of tried to do was just share the kind of films that Finn and I referenced so much in the writing of it and in the preparation for directing it, and kind of like specifically with comedy, just kind of what we were looking for. And we always wanted everything to feel very real and character based. And I mean, we had such an incredible group of actors, so that wasn't really going to be a concern for us. But a lot of the ones we referenced, like Shaun of the Dead is one, Superbad is one. Talked a lot about like Bottle Rocket and Rushmore and sort of the comedy of early Wes Anderson films. And then, yeah, I mean, do you guys, we talked a lot about movies, but I don't know if there's anything specific that.
I watched Freaks and Geeks, but I don't think you sent me a picture of Linda Cardellini, but because of her jacket. But then I thought this would be a good thing to rewatch. And the movie with Kristen Stewart, Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh, Adventureland. Yeah, that was also a big
that
one as well.
while we were there.
Yeah, totally.
Finn just kept sending me Charlie Bit My Finger.
I was gonna say Fred watched reruns of Entourage on Stars.
No, Rushmore. We when we finished shooting, then they were showing Bottle Rocket again. That new, I think, is some restoration, and we went and saw it at the end, and that was amazing. I mean, we watched a lot of movies throughout, but I think more
like weird documentary, like you and DeFaro would watch like weird documentaries at like 3 a.m. The whole cast lived together also, like they lived in a big, like this old weird Victorian, like it was like a hotel / mansion, weird house.
It was like there's kind of a communal room with a piano downstairs and a TV and a couch, and everyone lived in that same manor or whatever.
In this tiny town.
Everyone except for us.
Yeah,
we did not live in the nice Victorian manor.
We lived in a little lodge, and I'm not joking. We'd get home, and we'd like at like 4 a.m, we'd be in bed, and you just like see like just the little ceiling like keep going like that, and you'd hear rats.
Some critters, and then Finn would just text me from his room. We were like this thin wall between us. And I was like, yeah, same thing. Yeah, the rats. Yeah,
but these guys are having a blast. They're like playing piano.
And then I think didn't family move in? It was like
there was one
like 12 actors in there, and then like one family came in to go on vacation. And it was like, it would be the worst thing ever.
And they were like, why every time they were trying to go home is everyone just sitting around running lines, like playing music. We watched Windy City Heat together, but I I think more just for the joys of watching it.
They had a very tough shooting schedule. I mean, it's a very tough.
Yeah, they had a hard life. Actors have a hard life.
You know.
Yeah, that's the.
It's very tough. So I want to actually ask you guys a little bit about the filmmaking, which is so I like talking about the editing room because you really don't know what you have till you step in there, and that's where it all comes together. So how did the film change in the editing room in ways you didn't expect?
We had a very kind of lengthy editing experience, just doing a bunch of different alternate sort of cuts.
I think the main thing was finding the tone and then also the balance between. Well, I'm sorry, same thing twice. The tone of the comedy, but then also just the balance of the horror and when is too much. And we did some test screenings with friends and family, and thankfully there was a few people who put up their hand at the end. We're like, that's pretty gnarly when this happened. I kind of was like bummed for like 10 minutes afterwards, and then I didn't laugh so much at the parts afterwards. We're like, okay, great, good to know. And then we kind of like, all right, don't go too far.
It kind of gave me like, I don't know. I think, no, both of us were talking about this where it's like, we kind of felt like we had a little chip on our shoulder because there were scenes that were like too bloody and gnarly that we had to tone back because, again, you're trying to like, you're trying to strike the balance. And it's like, once you go too dark, it can be hard to like, make the audience, you got to make the audience like laugh again, and not be too disturbed. So that was a lot of it, just a lot of test screenings. And
a lot of like, how dumb is each character really? It was like, cause we had the actors, I mean, this is not a dumb thing, Fred, we could have cut your performance so differently.
Yeah.
Because there's such a range of takes every time, and they were all so interesting, but it's like just finding the through line there, and when is it too far, and when does it become like unhinged?
Where he's like Jack Nicholson from The Shining. Like we could have done a full different cut where he's like not this sort of main character hero.
It's like Anchorman 1.5, but it's
Wake Up Ron Burgundy. But
So I'm curious. Of course, I'm not trying to go into anything strike related, but you work on a show that you have been around some very gifted filmmakers, and Sean Levy told me yesterday that you were like a sponge trying to see what duffers were doing or what Sean is doing. So what did you guys learn from your previous experiences that you absolutely wanted to take with you on as directors on set?
Well, I feel like a lot of it is just like doing it. Like you learn it on the go. Like you're learning it as you're making it. For me, I just learned a lot about like how to talk to crew, like, and making cast feel comfortable or stuff like that. I mean, obviously I was still really learning when we did it. Like truly, like we were learning as we went.
We've worked together a few times with people who very different directors, but both so incredibly gracious with both of us. Mm-hmm. And we worked with, I'll just talk about people. We worked with Jesse Eisenberg, and he was one of the first people who read the script, and he was so
supportive of it.
So supportive of it. And just the way that he worked with actors was so incredible, and also communicated with crew. And then Jason Reitman also has been such a huge supporter of us as filmmakers, and like just I feel like learned so much in the small amount of time that I got to spend watching him work. But I really started. I love acting, and I wanted to act when I was a kid, but I sort of started acting to get on set and learn the craft of filmmaking. And I feel like anytime I was on set, just becoming more comfortable and just seeing what it's sort of like. Because an actor's perspective, like an actor's job can be, you're very sheltered, and that's the point. And then to sort of be on the other side of that and be like, okay, let's protect the actors from the fact that it's going to rain in 30 minutes and we can't get this scene and we're freaking out, but like, don't let them know because it's their job to not be worried about that.
I'm surprised I didn't freak the actors out more of how many times I was freaking. I just was like, oh, get screwed. It's all screwed. Meanwhile, every actor standing outside that can hear me. But no, I mean, yeah, totally. I mean, it's all just learning by watching. So there's like specific choices that we make as directors that can come from things that we've just seen in the past from other directors, I guess.
I also felt that in you being, in them being open about all of the things that they knew so deeply, that like the taste that they had, what they knew needed to be the case, but also the things that they were learning on the go. By being open about that, I thought it created, at least for me, like such an immense trust there because you know that everyone that you're making this with is not hiding anything from you in any regard, and it's what allows for, I think, us then all different actors to give performances that in a thing that is so many different tones put together hits each of those. So I think like in a way too, you never puffed your chest so hard that it just made it really, really wonderful to be directed by because you knew all the things that they knew very well, and you also knew the things that you were learning in real time, which made it even more exciting, I would say.
Great.
I'm curious. I'm going to ask them another question. As directors, did you find that each of you are more inclined, like one of you is more interested in where the camera is and one is more interested in crafting performance? Or was it one of these things where you're a two-headed beast doing the same thing?
I would say it was just constantly switching between. See, it really depended on the scene.
I think
A lot of it had to do with like who was, because we're both in the film as well, so it's like who trusting the other director on like on if you had to focus more on your performance and stuff like that. Someone screaming because they really hate my answer.
I think people are excited.
They fucking hate my answer.
They hated it. I was gonna start screaming, so I'm glad they did. I think the two-headed beast sounds pretty cool. And that's
By the
sort
way,
of
thanks.
We're gonna get that tattooed now.
That was the nickname for them.
Yeah,
that was the
kinda
big
like,
nickname.
Yeah, the two-headed beast. We're sort of like the Daniels or like the Collins, like the two-headed beast. But I think that just because we just have such similar taste, and we both knew what we wanted the movie to be, and there was a shocking few amount of times we really disagreed about something, and if we did,
Two,
it never.
Literally two. I can like think of only two off the top of my head. That's it.
Yeah, and so it was like an axe versus a hatchet, and then something else, and then a couple of like editing things. But it was so great, and I trusted Finn so much that we both kind of knew whatever the other person needed to be doing, we could sort of support them and vice versa.
I noticed in the credits you thanked Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
And why? Just in general because of the movie Drive? Because Drive is incredible.
Drive is incredible. Drive, I saw Drive when I was 11 years old. My dad took me to see it, and I was wearing a hat, and he put the hat over my face the entire time, and I went home, and I bought the Drive jacket online with like all my birthday money, and I thought it would be so cool if I wore it to school, and it didn't fit me at all. I was tiny. I was the tiniest kid in my school, and I just thought if I like was quiet and cool and didn't talk, then the girls would like me, and it didn't work. And then that left such an imprint on me. And then in the first draft of the script, there was so many Ryan Gosling jokes. Like there's one left in the movie, but there was like 30. It was such a big part of my character. Just this idea that he's obsessed with, like his male role model is Ryan Gosling in movies, and
not in real life, like just the characters that he plays.
There's so many people. I think it became a huge thing online too now, the like literally me thing, which also I think our jokes like kind of predated that, so I don't want to say that we were doing like a meme thing, but
we were doing it in 2019.
But there's a huge generation of young men and specifically who were sort of raised by thinking they were like the driver or Luke Glanton or Holland March or any of these characters.
Abby's like, what did I get myself into?
Yes. Well, thank you for asking about Ryan Gosling. Yeah.
I have to wrap with you guys, but last question for you two, because otherwise they will kill me. When you think about the shoot and you think about the making of the film, like what's the one day that like really sticks with you, the thing that you're always going to take away from the experience?
That was a really great bit.
Yeah. I think I have mine. Well, you're talking on set.
Yeah.
Well,
the making of the film.
I would say favorite scene was the walk and talk.
I agree with this.
Yeah, that's our favorite.
Which happened magically that day too.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to walk, and then we ended up walking and talking. It was supposed to be.
The scene was originally not going to be.
It was like we were gonna shoot it differently, and then there was it was raining, and then the sun was coming up, and we just were like, let's just go do it. And then we weren't. I don't think we were even supposed to shoot it that day, but you guys knew the line.
Which was also one of the things. There were so many great scenes every day that it was like there were never like this buffer. Every day was pretty chock full of like all of your favorite scenes, and that was one where it's the first scene with the two of us together in it, and but I think it was supposed to initially be maybe 4 or 5 days later, and all this weather stuff happened and changed the schedule and this way and back, and then suddenly it was like, I think like 15 minutes. And we were like, I think this is what we should shoot right now, they were saying. And then we just started to do it.
Yeah.
And it was, I guess, yeah, you're allowed a certain level of magic. I think if you're lucky a couple times, and that felt like it was really fun to shoot.
I would say that was like one of the. I mean, obviously we were like directing a bunch before, but I remember really relaxing as a director after that. Like, and Billy too. Like both of us just being so, just being like, oh, thank God. Like, just like being like, that was like, and both of us like being able to like step outside as the audience member too, and to be like, because we can be total cynics, and like you should be to a degree as the director. But this is the first time I feel like on set we were both like, oh, these are two amazing. Like it was like, good. We're good. No, but it just felt great. It felt really great to do that. Yeah.
I could ask you a million other things, but we will continue this conversation after
Yes.
I've seen the film and
Yes,
when it's getting
let's do it.
released. Thank you guys so much for coming in, and really congrats on being part of Toronto. Seriously, it's incredible.
We're so happy to be here. It's the best.